This video is about how alcohol has impacted my creativity and the difference not drinking has made. This isn't me saying don't drink, do what you like, I don't know your life. And I'm not going to say drinking's bad either, because I enjoyed it for like 20 years. Oi, oi, oi! And I'm not going to say that you can't make good stuff when you're in an altered state, because people do. And I'm not going to say like sobriety is some kind of magic bullet for life or making stuff, because it's not, but it's working out pretty good so far. I'm just going to share 5 stories about how drinking's shown up in my creative career and what I learned from those experiences. Draw your own conclusions. So grab a drink and let's go freaking crazy! You gotta let it cool down first. Echinacea. If you want stories about me being in a skip and trashed and off my face, then this probably isn't going to go that way, but it might, because that did happen. Don't know if I ended up in a skip ever. Probably in a bin. In fact, yeah, stealing bread from a bin. Jesus. The sharing solution. Drinking is such a big part of our culture here in the UK, and even more so when I was growing up. As a teenager, going to the pub was a rite of passage thing, and you get indoctrinated pretty early on into the idea that to be out and to be social you have to be drinking. So if I drink this, I don't feel anxious around all these people at a time in my life when I'm ultra self-conscious. I'll take that. So me and my friends have made a short film. We're putting on a cast and crew screenings. The first time we're going to share this thing with people. It's been an absolute blast to make. It's been so fun. But the idea of sharing this thing with the people who are in it, me and my friend Nick, who was one of the guys I made the film with, we sit at the back of this hall that we've hired, and we decide to take the edge off. So we have this bottle of vodka. During the course of the film, half of this bottle disappears. I think I had most of it. Everyone claps at the end of the film, and I decide it's a good time to get up and make a speech. I don't know, I guess I want to express some gratitude and be some kind of leaderly spokesperson for the production. I have absolutely no idea what I said. I was utterly trashed. I do remember trying to climb up the wooden beams of this hall. I was nervous, and that's why I decided to have a drink. Sharing this film in front of all these people felt really exposing. It wasn't so much the film they were watching, it was some little part of my soul, some embarrassing, weird or laughable part of me that they were watching. You know, that's social anxiety for you. And if you create stuff, there's probably not anything else more anxiety provoking than sharing the fruits of your labour. The genius bottle. We all know the myths around the creative genius who's powered by booze, especially when it comes to writers. The trope and the argument are so boring I can't be bothered to get into it, but it's pervasive and kind of attractive. In my late 20s I wanted to write a play, but the idea of writing a full-length play seemed like a real ball ache. So I decided to have a drink. It was such a simple plan. Get juiced up, go to the note, get into the flow of things, be so deep into it. And the next thing I know, I'll wake up in the morning, I've got a play right there. Yeah, I think I tried it for a few nights. I ended up with half a page of dialogue, which didn't really go anywhere. And the play that I thought might magically appear didn't. I wanted to have a few drinks and then suddenly, without any effort or discomfort on my part, to take receipt of a fully written play. And I did finish that play actually. And what got it written was just sitting down and doing the work. It didn't come out of a bottle. The after party. So in my late 20s, early 30s, I got involved in acting. I thought it was a good experience to have, given that I was writing for performance. I really loved it. It felt like coming home in a way. It felt like I found a tribe. But it was scary as well. Like, I felt really nervous about the idea of going to rehearsals. I'd try and chill myself out with Rescue Remedy and Pink Floyd. And that only got worse when it came closer to putting a show on. And at some point, the director must have said something about not drinking before shows. I think it's pretty obvious you don't want drunk people stumbling around a stage. But it was community theatre and none of us were there because we were getting paid or anything. And there is a strong social aspect to theatre making as well, especially if it's not like your career. And I got that. It was never an option for me to have a drink before going on stage, even if it was just one to steady the nerves or anything. The idea of being drunk or foggy headed didn't seem like a useful thing. But after the show, yeah, drinking's a big part of how we celebrate, right? After a show, you're buzzed with adrenaline and everyone's in a good mood and people want to buy you drinks and everyone's chatting about how great everyone is. You were so great in that. No, no, you were amazing. Can I buy you a drink? Yeah. Pint of Carlsberg, please. One show we did, I took the entire week off for the run. My week was literally go do the show in the evening, have a few drinks afterwards, go home, probably have a few more drinks, and then recover the next day, do the whole thing again. My body wouldn't react quite the same way now. I can't metabolise this. Felt good that drinks should be part of the celebrating, but I could see that there wasn't a place for it in helping me do the work. The technical malfunction. By the time I got to my mid-30s, I was hitting like little pockets of not drinking. Drinking's expensive. Getting older, the hangovers were getting worse. I was doing stuff like dry January, and this one year I kind of carried that on. February came, I was still not drinking. March, still not drinking. April. So I'm directing the show, we're at the end of rehearsals. It's going on in like a couple of days' time, and we're doing the technical rehearsal. And this is fringe theatre, so it's a really tight window to do a tech in. Just 3 or 4 hours of getting increasingly wound up with things. Added to that, the show itself is still not quite working. So finish the session, got the music cues and the lighting cues all locked, and the cast goes home and I'm left on my own at the theatre. So I go downstairs to the bar. You know when you've been tense so long and all that cortisol is pounding through your system, and then you finally sit down and it all like just hits you and you just feel like utterly wiped. I'm pretty depressed. Sod it, I'll have a beer. Chatting to the bar staff, feeling a bit better about things. You want another drink, mate? Yes, I do. Just feel so relaxed, the tension goes, got a bit of a buzz. That reward after a hard day's work. And I stop and get a couple more for the way home. And that cracks the door open to be drinking a bit more again. And I notice my alcohol usage creeping up. I'm doing too much. I've got too much work on. I'm so tightly wound most of the time. I just need something to... There's something you can get like literally on every street corner that will make you feel a lot better. Do they sell it at Sainsbury's? The altered state. My tea's done. It's just a soggy bag. So it's my 38th birthday and I decide that I don't think I'm gonna have a drink today. Went out with a friend 2 nights ago and we got absolutely twatted. Started with a cocktail, another cocktail, another cocktail. Looked around for a bar that was still open, vodka, back to his, red wine, played guitar badly. And I just want to break from feeling crap. Life's kind of taken a dump on me recently and I don't need anything else to make me feel bad. And I don't ever say that I'm going to be sober now or I'm not going to drink. I just say that I don't think I'm going to have a drink today. The moments of wanting to and deciding not to keep accruing, and the days keep stacking up, weeks, months, even years, and the moment has lasted nearly 4 years now. This wasn't about walking away from something, it was about walking towards something. And what I was walking towards was a life where I knew what was important to me and I was putting my best energies towards that. For me it was simple, it was about showing up for the people in my life and showing up for myself. And it was about my creative ambitions, the dream projects, the bigger projects that I'd have to find new abilities to be able to do, making more meaningful creative work, stuff that meant digging into the heart of myself and going to some scary places and talking about real things and challenging stuff for me. And I just saw that the way things were with me and drinking, like my relationship with alcohol, played out over a long enough timeline, it wouldn't help. It's getting really serious in here. I had a really good time drinking, I did. And I think I rode that horse until its legs fell off. I can look back at those stories now and I can see that they're all about what I wanted alcohol to give me. Courage or confidence instead of being scared. Ease when I felt uncomfortable. Certainty or boldness when I was feeling uncertain. But really it never gave me any of that stuff. Even chemically, that's not how it works. It inhibited being able to feel how I was feeling. The important bit is how it relates to making stuff. Because that's what this video is about. stay on message. None of us wants to feel afraid or uncomfortable or anxious or uncertain. No one likes feeling massively vulnerable. But that's part of the gig, isn't it? And not just the gig of making stuff, but of living. Like for me, I just want to really show up for the relationships I have and for the work that I make. I want it to feel really meaningful, and part of that is feeling uncomfortable and feeling vulnerable and seen and uncertain and anxious and not knowing. So nearly 4 years now into this moment of not drinking, about being really clear-headed as part of this showing up. I think the stuff I'm making is better. It's more mine. It comes more from a deeper place. Yeah, I still worry about what people think, but it's not going to stop me, and I'm just not going to, I don't want to dampen that part of me that has something to share. And yes, sometimes I really want to have a drink. Sometimes things feel so stressful, I just want to hit the eject button. Or sometimes I want to celebrate, and it doesn't feel right to do that without a pint. But I found other ways to do those things, because there are other ways. You just have to get creative. I don't want to create the idea that I was just caning it the whole time. Like, this is like the edited highlights of where alcohol has shown up in my creative career. Like, this is like the most of it. Like, the rest of the time, I'm just stone cold sober.